and thank you for joining me today. So to start off, I just want you to think about multiplication. What does multiplication mean? It means we're looking at groups. So we're talking about groupings. And generally when we've done multiplication, our number gets bigger. But we've only been looking at whole numbers. So I'm going to put something out there and get you to think about it. What we've been doing, 2 times 2, our number is going to be getting bigger. What happens when I'm timesing again with a fraction? 2 times a half. I've got a half plus a half. And I know it's going to be 1, or I can say, what's the half of 2? Equals 1. So when we're thinking about fractions and multiplication, we are thinking that our number is going to be decreasing, getting smaller. Now that we know when we're dealing with fractions and multiplication, that it's going to be getting smaller, let's take a look at this question over here. So, straight away we know this is what we're starting, a half, and I'm timesing by a half. So we already know when we're multiplying by a fraction, our number is going to be getting smaller. Awesome. So, if we think about that, our answer will definitely be less than a half. So, I'm going to draw a picture. I've cut it in half. I have this beautiful half right here. This is what I start with. If I times this half by 1, I've still got a half. But I'm timesing it by a half. That means I only want half of this. So, I look at the denominator here that I'm timesing it by 2. I want this piece cut into 2, which means my whole fraction is going to be cut into 2. On this half, how many of those pieces do I want? I only want 1 of those pieces, so I can rub off this. That means I have 1 piece out of 4. Let's double check that with the process now. I've shown you how to do it. Let's check the process. The process is simple. We multiply the numerators and we multiply the denominators. So 1 times 1 equals 1. 2 times 2 equals 4. Awesome. Let's double check that now. I'm going to put another question up here. Same thing, I'll do it visually and then we'll look at the process. I've got a third and I am timesing by 3/4. To start off, let's get a picture of my lovely, beautiful third. So I've cut my piece into 3 pieces and I'm saying I have this 1 piece here out of 3. Now I go to my next part. I'm timesing it by 3/4. So I don't want this 1/3. I want 3/4 of it. To work out that, I look at my denominator here. It says 4. That means each of my pieces is cut into 4 pieces. So I've cut each of my pieces into 4 pieces. Awesome. The next thing I need to do is think about how many of those pieces do I actually want? I want 3 of those pieces. 1, 2, 3. I don't want this piece, so I'll rub that out. That means I have 1, 2, 3 pieces out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. If I check my understanding with the process, 1 times 3 equals 3, 3 times 4 equals 12. Thank you so much for joining me on fraction multiplication. Now, before I let you go, I'm going to put a question up here and I would love it if you have a go for me. 2 over 5, and we're going to be timesing it by 1/3. I'll give you a couple of minutes. Hopefully you are able to pause the video and have a go yourself. So now I'm going to look at 2/5 times 1/3. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is drawing myself a lovely picture here. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 2 pieces. 2 pieces out of 5. Nice work. Now, I'm saying out of these 2 pieces, I only want 1/3 of this. 1/3 of what I've got. So let's work that out. The first thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking 1/3 of this. That means looking at this denominator. The denominator is 3. So each of my pieces, I'm just going to cut into 3 pieces. Sorry if I'm not as accurate with this. Awesome. So I've cut each of my pieces into 3 parts. Now I look at the next part. It says in this fifth, I only want 1 piece. So I'm going to rub out this, and I'll rub out this. In this piece here, I should only have 1/3 of it, so I'll rub out 2/3. Rubbing out 2 pieces now. That means I have 2 pieces out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's checking it visually. Let's check it through the process. The process is we multiply the numerators and we multiply the denominators. 1 times 2 equals 2. 3 times 5 equals 15. Hope you are starting to understand multiplication of fractions, and I'm looking forward to seeing you at the next session.